Nintendo dropping a new Direct has quickly become one of the most exciting reoccurrences for me, as it never fails to give me something to anticipate, and June's Direct was no exception, as there were several titles showcased that already have me reaching for my wallet. I'm obviously not going to cover every Direct game in this video, just the select few that stood out to me, so let's get into it. We still haven't got any footage from the highly anticipated Metroid Prime 4, but if the game they revealed instead was the consolation prize, then it's one of the best consolation prizes I've ever seen. Metroid Dread is the 5th installment and the long-awaited sequel in the critically acclaimed Metroid series. It's a game that had rumors of development going as far back as the mid-2000s, but now it's finally here, and I couldn't possibly be any more excited for it. If you haven't played a Metroid game before, then know that it's a 2D platforming game where the main theme is exploration. The name Dread is new to the series, but the sense of dread has always been present, as the Metroid experience is an isolated one by design that took heavy inspiration from the classic 1979 film Alien. The sense of dread is only heightened in this new installment, as it appears that the enemy robots that are consistently hunting you will add a tremendous amount of suspense to this edition of Metroid. My hope is that Nintendo goes all in on this sense of dread aspect, and tries to make this the scariest Metroid game that we've ever seen. I would suggest messing with the lighting and certain parts to give it a creepier vibe, and really use imagery and music to make the player uncomfortable in numerous situations. If we're being honest, many of the fans of the Metroid series are older Nintendo players, so a lot of them can handle a more mature and intimidating tone in this installment. Either way, I'm expecting to love this one, and it will certainly be a day one purchase for me when it drops on October 8th. Mario Golf Super Rush, which releases on June 25th. If you're not into the game of golf, or you know someone who doesn't care for golf, Mario Golf games are a fun and easy way to be introduced to the game and to learn the game. They tend to be less punishing and more forgiving than the more realistic golf games, which makes for an experience that the whole family can enjoy. Back in the day, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour was a bit of an underrated gem for the Nintendo GameCube, and it was a game I enjoyed all in the same home with my dad and my brother. But since then, we've all grown up and moved out. Now with the presence of online play, I'm looking forward to enjoying Mario Golf with a family all over again. If you're looking for Mario Party type fun that's just a bit calmer than the Mario Party craziness, then this is one that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Mario Party Superstars, which releases on October 29th. It will be the 12th installment in the Mario Party franchise, and this one will feature 5 remastered maps from the Nintendo 64 games, which in my opinion was the golden age of the Mario Party series. It will also feature over 100 remastered minigames from the franchise's rich history. There are so many Mario Party titles at this point that I'm willing to bet that most people who have played a Mario Party game haven't played all of them. So a greatest hits type of game for the Switch is a great idea that's now being brought to life. As far as a game that makes a fun evening for both hardcore gamers and casual players, in my opinion, there's nothing better suited for that than the Mario Party classics. It may not be a day one purchase like Metroid Dread will, but I'll certainly be adding it to my collection sooner or later. Now of course, I've got to talk about it. The main event and the game that most people are buzzing about. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 releasing sometime in 2022. In my previous Breath of the Wild video, I spoke a lot about what I would love to see from this game. One of the things I suggested is that Breath of the Wild 2 should have a Dark World of Hyrule just like how A Link to the Past did for the Super Nintendo. That way, it gives the second game a similar but unique spin on the world we experienced in the first game. Well, it looks like they're not going to do that, but taking Hyrule to the skies is a pretty good option as well that I'm quite happy with. But it also poses more challenges. It looks like portions of Hyrule will be in the sky while other large portions remain grounded. For the sections that are still on ground level, it's going to be difficult for Nintendo to keep those parts from feeling stale, because in theory, they would likely have the same experience as the Hyrule field we completely exhausted in the first game. If that's the case, then they're going to have to come up with some creative ways to keep the already treaded lands interesting. And before anyone suggests it, no, simply adding more Koroks ain't gonna cut it. As far as the lands in the skies, hopefully Nintendo takes full advantage of this aspect. I would love to see more involvement with the Ritos and mix in more aerial archery similar to the Divine Beast battle in the first game. One interesting observation is that it appears that Link's right arm has essentially been infused with the Sheikah Slate from the previous game. I really like this because this is a creative example of how the look and mechanics can be similar to the first game, but still have a unique enough twist that it keeps the experience fresh. I've noticed a few people saying online that Breath of the Wild 2 looks just like the first game, as if that's a bad thing. If it was a new Zelda game on a completely new console, then I may have shared that sentiment. But considering the fact that it's a direct sequel on the same console, honestly, all I really want is more of the same graphics and mechanics with a new story, an expanded map, and for the love of all things good, please bring back the dungeons. There's a lot of time between now and the release of this game, so expect plenty more Breath of the Wild 2 videos in the near future. So what stood out to you in the latest Nintendo Direct, and which release are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.